Keep them down. It's okay, I'll just go. And here's Mo. Welcome, everyone. Welcome on this beautiful spring day. I know. It's like, what are you going to say? When Mo comes in, it's just Mo. It's easy as 2 letters. You don't forget it. You know. Welcome. I'm honored to be hosting this today. I was very grateful that they asked me to do this. I have not done something as freeform as this, so we're just going to go with this. I've had some things come in this morning that I wanted to talk about. But first of all, I wanted to do something for everyone. This morning, I would like to bless everyone in this room, asking that your personal guides and angels and spirits and your sense of the divine comes and fills you with light and love and protection for the week to come. I'm grateful for everyone to be here. I'm grateful to be here myself. Thank you so much. So today, what I kind of wanted to do, in the theme of being in the present moment, is I want us to kind of get into our bodies, which a lot of us don't do. A lot of us kind of sit there and go, well, I'm too busy to do this and this and this. So what I wanted to do is if everybody would kind of stand up and give themselves arms room, and move into the thing. I'm going to lead everyone through the first set. Jackie's dancing. The first set of some moves called Falun Gong. These moves, what they do is they bring energy into your body, they open up your chakras, they help you connect to the earth energies, they help you connect to the divine energies, and they help everything kind of flow. This is the first set. If you want to learn these moves, you can go online, just do a search on Falun Gong, and you can learn these moves for free. And they're wonderful, and I've been using them forever. So what you do is you stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, and your knees a little bent, and then you bring your hands together. Left hand down, right hand up, thumbs together, and then you drop your hands to be in, and then you reach above and stand straight, and then you bring that energy down to the root, and then you turn your hands back to back, and then come into the prayer position. Then you frame your heart, right hand over, left hand under, and then come out this way, cupping your breast area. And then you come back and you frame the heart again. You bring your hands back into the prayer position, and then you flip and do the other side. And then you come out this way, feel those energies start to flow. Then come back and frame, and then bring your hands together in the prayer position, and then straight out side to side. Together. Then dive down. Come up, and then side to side, down low. I missed something. Behind, forward, and then come back, cross below and finish. Breathe in, breathe out. Come into your body, feel your body. Appreciate the fact that you're in the present. Appreciate the fact that you're here today on this beautiful day with everyone together, and know that we are blessed in coming into community. Thank you. Okay, so on that theme, on that note today, the importance of living in the present. We spend so much time with our minds going in 20 different directions. We're so worried about tomorrow that we cannot appreciate the moments that we have that we're in. And they're so fleeting. You know, you think about as you get older too, you know, I'm in my 50s now, and I look back and I see where my godchildren were young and they were babies, and I kind of like resented having to take care of little ones and all that kind of stuff. And now I look back and I go, man, that was so fun. So in order to kind of like bring yourself out of that kind of a thing, start noticing the little things around you. When you wake up in the morning, I don't know about how many of you have pets, or how many of you have pets that sleep with you. Guilty, there's quite a few. And if you don't, maybe you have a spouse or someone else that does. Or maybe some combination thereof, because, you know, our spouses are our pets as well. But, you know, yes, they are. You think about it. They are. Our spouses are our children, our pets, our lovers, our friends. They're our other halves. They're the two halves of the same whole. I mean, they're wonderful. But when you wake up in the morning, you know, you're surrounded by all that relaxation and love, just kind of open your eyes a little bit and look around you and listen to the breath. Sometimes if you have a cat like I do that wakes up, he reaches out because he wants me to get up and feed him. But I mean, just taking those moments, that just kind of like sets your tone for the day to appreciate what comes. You know, we incarnate into this world, and it's a beautiful gift. This is our present to ourselves to come here. We choose to come here. You know, unlike a lot of people don't think that, but I do feel like that. We do choose to come here. And if we can embrace our choice, we can live in a way that is full and full of joy and light and love. You can appreciate the time together. You can appreciate your spouse. You can appreciate the flowers that bloom, the birds that sing, you know, and you don't sit there and keep yourself tied up in that monkey mind that moves you in 20 million different directions and keeps you stressed so that you can't appreciate the moments. You know, it's a challenge for us because we're always taught that, you know, we have to be productive, we have to be doing things, we have to be, what's that list, what's that list? Still the list, and breathe. Feel the breath in your body. Take that time to relax and know that everything is going to come in the moments in time that it is supposed to. Relieve the pressure off of yourself. You know, I just heard you speaking of your friend who's 30 years old and says, I should be further along. Well, no. You're where you're supposed to be in any moment in time that you're supposed to. We're the ones that put the pressure on ourselves. We're the ones that beat ourselves up. We're the ones that say, I need to be over here, when there are gifts in the present. You know, you can't get to point D without going to A, B, and C. And it's a progression, it's a journey. Things happen in ways that they're supposed to. You cannot be, you know, a wise woman or a wise man until you've lived your life to become that wise man or that wise woman. Give yourself the space and time, and most of all, the permission to be present. Stop worrying about what's to come. There are things coming for each and every one of us, and it's exactly what we need to help us grow and move in light and love. We are here in this physical world to learn. That's it. That's it. That's all that you have to do when you incarnate. And I'm getting goosebumps when I'm talking about this. This is what you are here for, is to learn. That's it. And we're learning with every breath and every second that we're here. So you're already doing exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing in these moments in time. Give yourself permission to love that. Take the pressure off. If you have difficulty sleeping, this is a wonderful way to help you. You know, I used to spend so many times, because my day job is so stressful on Mondays, as we all know. And I used to not sleep at all on Sunday nights. Took me years to manage that stress and figure that out, because I would sit there and list in my head everything that I knew was going to happen on that Monday. I'm going to argue with this person, and we're going to have a discussion about that, and this, that, and the other, and see what you're doing when you're doing that. Not only are you not getting any sleep, but you're creating that crap for yourself, okay? And one of the things that I've learned that has helped me very much is to ground and center myself, especially on Sundays. I do it every day, but especially on Sundays. And to release that and just block it out. I will deal with that in those moments in time. I am not going to set the table to make my day awful. Not only that, but I've taken it a step further, and I'm like, I'm going to help everybody set the table at my office to not have such a god-awful day. You know, I want to send distance, light, and love and Reiki, and I want everyone to communicate and be good, and I'm going to see this and be this in these moments in time so that I can carry that forward into the next. You know, be there, be in the present, be that person, be that light in the world. Show people that it is okay to be in these moments and to do these things for yourself and for others, you know. Hot baths, those are another one too. Helps you come into the physical, you know, helps you to relax, and helps you to be in that moment. The present was sent to you by the universe, from yourself, and from divine source. for you to live in these moments. It's a present. It's a gift, you know? Enjoy the gift and be grateful for those gifts. Those are things that are very important too, that grateful. When you speak about being grateful, you want to pull in all of that. You're telling the universe, I love this. I want more. Please send that to me. I want more. I want more of that kitty cat patting. I know I'm thinking of it here, but I want more of that peace. I want more of that hearing of the breath. I want more of the sunshine, even the rain. I don't know how you guys were dealing with before we had the rain, but the pollen, for instance, was so. It's still not great, but it's better. And I was looking around, and I was thinking to myself, wow, we could really use some rain. So I remember thinking to myself, well, I remember this special I saw about how this Indian person went up, walked up to the mountain, stood around on the mountain, and then walked back. Because they were looking for rain. They were doing a rain walk. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that or not, but I thought it was really fascinating. And then he gets back down, and the guy that went with him, he says, well, you didn't do anything when you got up on the mountain. He said, no, I didn't. He says, well, how does that bring the rain? He says, because I walked up on the mountain, I remembered the beauty of the rain and knew that it was coming. And I let it go. That is what I kind of did this week. I was like, wow, I remember the rain. And I remember how it sounds when it starts coming down, especially here in East Tennessee. There is nothing, I've lived in other places, Florida being one, and Florida, it comes as, it's big drops and everything. I've literally danced in the rain down there, but it's wonderful. But here, there's just such a gentleness, even in the fiercest of storms, of that water that just starts to filter down. It comes into the trees, and it filters down, and then it goes onto the earth, and then it rolls across the earth. And there's a sound it makes, no matter where you are. It's like you can just stand. I love to do this on my back porch. I have a screened-in porch, and there's trees behind my house. And I'll just sit there and I'll listen to the rain. And I'll hear it. And even after it stops raining, you can hear the tinkles of the water as it runs, as it comes down. Because, we live in this mountainous area, and it all runs into these areas. And so what I did this week when I looked around is I thought, well, I'm going to put that into play. I'm going to put that into play, and I'm going to know that it's coming. And so I started walking and thinking and being in those moments of the rain and the appreciation of the rain that came and how much it brought life to the earth and how it cleansed the pollen. And I even literally envisioned the pollen, little yellow stuff, in the water going into the streams and rivers and flushing out of the area, because this is our Tennessee Valley area. And sure enough, what happened? Did I look at a forecast? No. Can you count the forecast here in town? No, because the mountains change. Oh, it's supposed to rain. No, it's going to rain. Then all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, we haven't had a single bloody drop. But yes, what happened? It rained. And it rained beautifully. Did you notice how sweet that rain was this week? And were we not all grateful for that rain? I mean, how blessed were we to get that rain? That's what I'm talking about, being in the moment, so that you can also remember that moment, the beautiful things of that moment, not the traumas and the things that go along with it, but the beauty of that moment. Find it. Resonate with that. Pull that into your being so that you can create those things moving forward. If you're caring for a child or a grandchild and they're a little bit fussy, well, you know what? Find the joy in that moment. Take them out of that moment, that fussiness themselves. Children can be turned into another direction very easily. Pull out the crayons. Hey, let's color. The next thing you know, you and that child are sitting down there with crayons or whatever it is, and whether they're coloring the lines or not, or you're coloring the lines or not, you are creating a moment in time where you are doing something with someone that's creating love and a lasting memory that will move you forward, and telling the universe that you want more of that. Because you took this fussy child, and not only did you change that situation for them, you changed it for yourself, because you brought them into the moment. They were probably fussy about something that happened 20 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago. But why carry that forward? Why not let that go? Those emotions It's okay to feel those emotions, but those emotions are here to teach us. We learn, because we don't learn in a vacuum. We need to have those things. But if you hold on to those things, then you're stuck. And then you start punishing yourself. So you have to learn to release that. Release the past. Let it go. Move forward into that better expression of yourself. Be present in the moment for yourself and those around you. And then when you get to be 40 or 50 years old and you're looking at that child that was, used to just try you so much, but yet you remember those beautiful times. Well, didn't we color? And not only that, that child who's now 20 years old will go, wow, remember when we sat down and we colored that day? And they would still remember it. Children, children don't always remember everything, and we're like that. We kind of block out a lot of that stuff. But I can tell you some of the most vivid memories I have as a very small child are just of those kind of moments, where I remember these beautiful things that happened to me, or how someone made me feel, or even how I made somebody else feel, So these are the things, when you start pulling that in and living in the moment, that you really start to appreciate. And then when the time comes, and it is time for us to exit out of this physical incarnation, because that does all come, there's no regrets, and you take all that light and love with you. And then if you decide, you can come back and do it again. At least that's my philosophy. But I mean, it's very important to live in the moment and to give yourself that space to do that. And it's also important to carve that space for yourself and to explain that to others. You say you go with somebody to a movie and you sit down and you want to watch that movie. I use that reference because anyway, and you want to enjoy that moment. You want to just suspend everything around you, and then you've gone with someone who sits there and wants to talk or wants to text, or then you can say to them, hey, I really want to enjoy this movie. Enjoy this movie with me. Put that down. We can pick that up when we leave. We have all the time in the world to spend together. Let's experience this part together, and then let's discuss it later. Carve that space, ask for that space. It's your right. It's your right to do that. So, there you go. Also, what I find helpful too to help me be in the present is to move physically in the morning, to move your body, to come into knowledge of your energy flows, I guess would be a good way to do that. And one of the things that I do are chakra meditations, which are very helpful. Is everybody familiar with the 7 major chakras? I don't have a single hand going, oh, lovely. Okay, so here, there's a physicality in addressing the chakras, and I've taught this before, and I feel like it's helpful here to help you bring it into the center here. Okay, so we're going to do just a very basic one here, if everybody would follow me. Put your feet, once again, about shoulder width apart. Just sit comfortably in your chair with your back comfortably straight. And here's how we address the chakras. We address them with our hands. We hold them in front of our chakra area here. This is your root. So at the root, you say, I am grateful.
I am grateful.
I create gratefully.
I create gratefully.
I do gratefully.
I do gratefully.
I love gratefully.
I love gratefully.
I speak with gratitude and compassion.
I speak with gratitude and compassion.
I know gratitude and compassion.
I know gratitude and compassion.
I understand grateful.
I understand grateful.
Thank you. So when you do that, what that does is that addresses those chakras and it gets them moving. It helps you to connect to yourself. It helps you connect to the physical world, especially when you say, I am. Those are powerful, powerful, powerful words. And it helps you to also connect to your source energy, however you name that. That's a wonderful thing to do in the morning. It's a wonderful thing to do at night, especially if you're having trouble sleeping. Breath work, breathing in and out, and relaxing. That helps bring you into the physical world. so that you can be in the present. So I'm going to start and ask some questions. And I'm going to start. Of course, I've been picking on you all morning. I know. But you're used to that by now.
Yeah, always.
So I like people to share because we always get good ideas and information from one another. What are some of the things that you do to help you be in the physical?
Used to, for a while, I was getting up at 6 a.m. just to be by myself, having coffee. Lately, I haven't been doing that, but.
Well, it's physical. Forgive, that's in the past.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, get up and have my coffee.
You have to have your coffee?
Yes.
Okay, it's a wonderful thing to do.
I get quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I just get really quiet and just listen. I get in here in front of that picture and get quiet.
And just get quiet.
And get
It's a
quiet.
wonderful thing. And that brings you into the physical and brings you in and focuses.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Drink a glass of water.
Really? How does that work for you? Tell me.
Well, it starts to get my digestive system working,
Mm-hmm.
and, and then actually having to grab a glass
The
that's.
physicality of it.
Yeah, and then just, and drink it, I'll drink it all, I don't like mess around. It's
So
like-
you just suck it all in. Probably feeling that going through the esophagus and going into the stomach too, because when you eat, you feel those things. You feel that physicality. That's awesome. It's a very simple way. I'm going to use that one. Thank you.
I do breathing exercises.
So deep breathing and, so when do you do them, on a certain time of the day? or-
Usually as soon as I get out of bed.
So it starts your day. Okay. Like that.
Ground
Mm-hmm.
and root and breathe, which is I can keep it aware to do that.
Right. So when you ground, what is it that you physically do? You just bring your intention into the root, or?
Belly breathe,
There you go.
and then drop it everything
Mm-hmm.
out through the ground.
And you feel that come up and
Yeah.
pulls you into the present. Beautiful.
Go outside.
I was waiting for someone to say that. That's a
I did it
wonderful
this
thing
morning.
to do. Yeah.
I just stepped outside for a moment, and then
Mhm.
I usually go for a walk afterwards.
Feels good to do.
But
that.
no cell phone, no music.
Right.
Just me on the walk.
That's wonderful. I like that too, about the no cell phone and the no
It
music.
doesn't mean the mind doesn't talk, I'm just not,
You're not
I
paying
keep
attention.
telling it, no, go
Right.
on the walk.
That's beautiful.
And
That's
then
a
you
wonderful.
get to see something different every day, because
Hmm.
Tennessee has different,
Really, yeah.
something different every time you go on the same walk.
Well, the birds and the squirrels and the sounds that you
And
hear.
the different
Wow.
wildflowers growing at different times,
Yes.
and,
So do you have a place in your neighborhood that you walk, or is it?
behind Whole Foods, not Whole Foods, behind Earth Fair.
Oh,
on
that's
the
nice
Greenway.
back there on the Greenway, yeah. It's a
Or
wonderful
I
thing.
Iams.
Iams, yeah, Iams is
My
wonderful.
other one.
Yes, absolutely. If you haven't been there, you need to go.
But sometimes the neighborhood
Yeah.
will do. 'cause I
So
don't have
anytime
time.
just going out and just.
Just outside. Well, even outside sitting on my porch.
Mm-hmm.
Inside's too stagnant and my mind will race. There's too much stuff. So
Good
outside,
point. Good point. That's something else too.
different energy.
Remind me, we'll get back to that one
Yeah.
about the stagnant energy in the house.
Similar to hers, I go outside and I always have a cup of green tea and I journal. Do It's
Awesome.
called like morning pages. I started working with the Artist Way.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Right. I love them. I'm telling you, the 2 days in a row, if I skip, I'm like, ugh. I don't feel right, but it's really helped settle, and I always have to sit outside if weather permits, because it feels like the flow's richer.
Mhm. Much better.
Mhm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like the journaling too, because that really not only gets you physically into yourself, but it also brings you focus into yourself as well, which is mind, body, emotion, and spirit. Awesome. Miss Ma'am?
One of my favorites is just being in water or a bath. I love taking baths every night, just putting my candles and
Oh, yeah.
like Epsom salt and just water feels like it's more purifying. Like when I'm stressed or anything, it just feels like everything just washes away.
Those Epsom salt baths are awesome. Seriously, I can literally feel when I get into it and I just open up, I can feel it just go right into the water, just exit the body. It's It's wonderful. That's a great way to do it.
I live out in the county, and so out my back door, we have wild turkeys and deer.
Oh,
And,
that's
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
we have a family of wild turkeys, like 2 males and 4 females. What it does for me is the simplicity of their lives. Sometimes you have this one and she comes across and, she's by herself, and I don't know, for some reason that takes all the problems, because that's all she has to do is pick her favorite seeds or whatever across the hayfield. And you almost get to know them like your neighbors. You kind of know what they look like, and you know what the milk's going to do. So that's what brings me joy and it grounds me, I suppose.
Well, it's the lesson of the animals. Think about that. We were just talking all this time about being in the present. Animals are so in the present. And you just alluded to that whole thing there. All she has to worry about is her chickies
Jesus.
and her little cat, Perfect. That's great. I love that. It's wonderful.
I don't have any pets, but I do have a bunny couple that lives under my stairs there, and yesterday was special, and the bees, I have lots of bees. And they follow me everywhere. They just swarm. But yesterday, a little bitty baby ran out, so we have a family.
So you have a mommy and a daddy and a baby
And a
bunny.
baby.
The bunnies are adorable.
So I go out and get barefooted in the grass.
Oh,
And they
that's awesome.
sit right there with me. They don't run away or anything.
Very companionable. But see, that's something else too. Animals will pick up on this in a heartbeat. When it's whether you're outside with wild animals or you're inside with your own animals, they pick up in a heartbeat if you're in the present. They do. And they remind us in so many ways, you need to be in the present. It's like, you're busy doing all these things, and next thing you know, you got your dog chugging at your leg and bringing or exactly the cat doing this, or the dog bringing you the toy. There are reminders too, so that's beautiful. I like that we've had a couple of animal comments here. Beautiful, thank you, Dawn.
Well, same thing here, anything with animals and being outside. And then my third one is gratitude.
Yes, gratitude fires it all. Always.
First thing I do is open up the shades in the bedroom, let the sun in, and look out over the yard and say, what a wonderful day.
Oh, see, there you go, setting the table. What a wonderful day. No matter what you're seeing out that day, it's a wonderful day. So no matter what's coming, it's going to be a blessing. It's awesome, Jim. Love that. Love that.
I sit out on the deck while the coffee's making, and again, it's going to be a great day, whatever it is, because you know what's on the table or on the menu, so to speak, and just say, it'll be okay.
And it all comes through.
Pour that coffee and go get ready to.
I'm hearing coffee. I'm seeing it dual here with the coffee. Of course, you had the tea, right? You're the one that said the tea. Okay, so we all have our little breakfast drinks. We have the water here.
I'm here for them.
There you go. Michael?
I've, over the years, kind of found 3 things that are really important. Sometimes I do it for 5 minutes, and sometimes it's an hour. But activating the mind, the body, and the spirit are all really important to me. So usually when I wake up, I'll invite love into my day and envision the day, and then from there I move out into usually like some sort of breath or yoga or stretching, which could be 2 minutes, or it could be depending on what I need, because I've found that for myself that I have to sometimes expend energy in order to go deeper in myself. And that's been one of the most important practices in my life, and clearing the stage for me to go deeper into the day. And then I'll usually, depending on my time, I'll have a little bit of meditation or a lot of meditation, and then some sort of contemplative intent for the day. And I always, before I leave my house, I always stand there in prayer position and just bless everything in the abundance that I have.
So that's setting a lot of tables.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
For me at this juncture in my life, I don't really have a choice. It's one of those things I have to get up and I have to set the table. I love your way of saying setting the table, because it's just such a beautiful vision for a lot of different areas.
Well, and if you set a table, then that means you have a feast.
Mm.
You know, that's your feast to come. So just understand that. Those are the gifts. Those are the gifts of being in the present.
I have 2 big dogs, and we get up at dawn, rain or shine, fog or no. We go, and I live on the mountain, so I take my dogs. I take my dogs to the mountain, and we greet the morning together, and they play and run, and they get to be dogs. And I get to walk and get centered and be grateful and commune with the nature around me. And it's quiet, but it's not, because in the beginning the animals and the insects that live in the woods were very aware of us and were quiet. But now that we're there and not harming anything, which I never do anyway, and talk to the trees and mostly the trees and the creeks that are there. They're very alive now because we're not invasive. And it's just...
You're part of their background.
The birds particularly, you can hear them talk to one another when we're coming. They kind of like alert each other as we go. But it's hard to put it into words what goes on, but it's very much me being in me and centered in my environment on the earth.
Yeah.
It's a very deliberate thing.
And that's what I'm hearing too, that there's a lot of deliberate things that people are doing. I like that. Good call on that. Miss Marie?
I
can't
can't
see you.
Like, kind of dark shadow back there. I mostly do like try to breathe and get quiet, and then also do a lot of stretching. Because I can make myself stop and stretch. It helps. I just sit there and just like I can.
I think also the physicality of movement seriously does kind of, you know, you've been asleep all night and you've been in these relaxed positions, and then you want to wake yourself up. Do it gently, but wake your body up, because it's time to be back in the physical again. Because, you know, as we all know, we exit when we sleep. We go out there, we fly around, we do our stuff, and then we come back and we go, oh yeah, here. Okay. One of the first things I do when I wake up, I'm usually on my back and I reach up and I do this to get the blood flowing in my hands, just to move the stuff, because you know how you get stiff, and so I do this and I can feel my hands waking up, I can feel my wrists waking up, then I usually do something like this to pop the wrists and get myself moving. But that's, yeah, physically waking up in the morning is great.
I was just gonna say, you know, sometimes for me, the dream state, the dreams end up in our tissues. So I find sometimes as part of my thing, I'll pull out a foam roller and roll different parts of my body. I do my own massage, and I'll roll.
Wow.
So I have certain parts of my body that hold energy, and I will foam roll, and literally as I roll, the energies will come up and I breathe them out. It's a really powerful practice for anyone.
You need to teach a class on that.
You'll get to it.
That happened to me during drumming last night when we were at the drumming circle at the farm. I'm just drumming away, just, you know, having fun, and all of a sudden, it pulled out of me.
You felt it release.
The vibration released. Happened at the John and God bed too. But it released.
Yeah,
So it was really,
John God bed's phenomenal. Definitely.
Well,
I remember one of the things I want to cover, because I think I've got just enough time, is about stagnant energy in home. Okay? You mentioned you go outside because stagnant energy is in the home. And that happens a lot, especially, you know, here in East Tennessee where we get 4 seasons. We have spring that has lots of pollen, so we can't necessarily open our houses up to air our houses out. We have winter that, you know, we all kind of cluster in. It's an incredible phenomenon. I noticed that when I first moved here, is that you see all your neighbors, okay, and then it gets winter and you don't see them. and then like what I noticed of children that lived across the street, I will never forget Natalie across the street, this beautiful little girl. For one winter, she came out the next spring and she was a young lady, and I went, when did that happen? But there's a lot that can happen. So what happens is we close up our houses and they get the stagnant energy and stuff. So when the air is nice and when the air is moving, opening your house up and airing your house out is a wonderful thing to do. Also, you know, in the spring, we start getting that spring cleaning thing. That's because we want, I think, to energetically move stuff out of our houses. So going through some of your stuff and making a pile, okay, and carting it off is a wonderful way to remove stagnant energy and to remove things out of your house. I literally went to a lady's house who said she was complaining of stagnant energy, and I said, well, let me just come on over there and see what's going on. So I go in, and she moved into the house like 2 years ago, and she's got cardboard boxes that she's never unpacked. She's seen it. I go into the bathroom, she's got bags of clothing that she's never taken anywhere. They're just sitting there. And I literally told her, I said, well, here's your problem. So moving things out of your house that you haven't used anymore, or that no longer serve your greater good, and also it helps you to, because a lot of times we hold on to things in that form because we have a memory we're not ready to let go of yet, or we have a memory that we want to let go of but we don't know how. And so removing those objects and taking them and blessing them and moving them forward will help you to move that stagnant energy out of your home. It's a wonderful thing to do. There's other things that you can do too. For instance, if you've been attuned to Reiki, Reiki is a very easy way to clear and protect. There's specific things to do that. You can make symbols and clear your house very easily. But it's also about intention. I mean, it's just that simple. You know, you can ask for positive, higher vibrational energy to come in. So connect with your source and ground and center and say, we bless this house. We invoke the protections of God, divine source. We banish negativity. We make this a happy, healing space. We bless and clear this house. And we thank you for the blessing and the clearing. And you will literally feel the difference. You will feel the difference in your house. It's like the shoulders, it doesn't feel like something's sitting on you. And then you don't necessarily feel like you have to go outside to get, when you go out, it's like, you know, you can actually breathe in your own home. So again, blessing, protecting, and clearing your home is a wonderful thing to do to help you reinforce all of these things about living in the present and coming into the physical and being in the physical and being in the moment and grounding and centering and being who it is that you were ultimately supposed to be. That's something else I want to make sure you get today. If you get nothing else, just know you're in the moments in time that you're supposed to be doing everything that you're supposed to do. Stop the pressure. Stop beating yourself up. Stop thinking that you're less than highest and best of who you are, and what you're doing in these moments in time. Because whatever you're doing in these moments in time is what is teaching you about the times moving forward. It's a gift. It's the present. It's a gift. So there you have it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me today. That was very nice of you guys.
Thank you.
We have a potluck here, so we're gonna bless him.
Absolutely. Okay. You know, why don't we just all kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.